where you would want your mates to be in real life.
We are your mates.
Welcome back to another episode. It is Your Mates. My name is Jack Bingham.
And I am Scott Hughes.
And we are joined by the, what do we call him? Manager, Lachlan Rennie. Just mental blank for a second there.
Yes, that's me.
Oh, it's always good to have the manager in the building, keeping us in check, making sure we're on time, everything's legal. He's on. He keeps the legalities legal.
The managerial things are managed.
That's what he does, the managerial roles.
Yes, so, that is correct. Great to have you with us, Lockie. Great to be back, boys.
No, you said your thing. Yeah. I thought for a second that you didn't say the Scott Hughes bit.
Oh, no, I'm here.
It just flowed so naturally today. And now we've ruined all of that flow by mentioning it. So, good.
But
sorry,
if
everyone.
you are listening, you are our mates.
Yes, we are your mates.
We are your mates. You can have us. You can listen to us talking wherever you might be. If there's a situation where you'd want your mates around, you can have us there by listening to our podcast, which is what you're doing now.
Yeah, and I'll just get an early plug in.
Yeah,
we want this to be a conversation, an ongoing conversation.
Yes.
So if you hear anything that sparks your brain, gives you an idea, you want to talk back because you're annoyed at something we said, where do they go, Scott?
Quite likely.
Yeah.
They can go to Jack and Scott on Instagram. It's just Jack and Scott. That's where you'll find us.
Yeah, we love the feedback. We've had plenty. We've spoken about a few on air.
Yes.
And like we said, it's a conversation two ways. So that's how you submit your half.
And while it's not how we're going to get people on the show, me and the manager and Jack, we're talking today.
Also known as all of us.
All of us.
The whole production team.
We're talking today about how we are intending on getting some guests on the show. Might have a few lined up, might not. But that is where at least the conversation starts on our Instagram. Who knows? If your content's good, why not get you in for a proper chat? Look,
in the end, we're all mates.
We're all mates here.
What do you got for us?
All right, let me bring it in. I've been thinking about this for a while, right? Now, I think you guys both can probably agree that while I would say I do have a particular style in terms of my own fashion or style, and it's not anything like crazy. It's not anything I'd say hip. It's not, or you know what I mean. Like I've just got my own thing. I know what I like for fashion style. And
I would say like it's a surfy style t-shirt, black jeans, and some skate shoes, pretty much.
Yeah, kind of like that.
If you've got the excuse to, it's thongs.
Yeah. Like Anyway, basically what I was saying is that I'm not like a huge fashion guru or anything like that, but I want to put a prediction on the next clothing trend.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Ooh. Because I feel like what's quite common, and while it's not obviously going to be everywhere you see, I feel like blacks and whites are quite common.
Very common. Real safe colours.
They're safe, but also, as well as blacks and whites, I'm going to say, I don't know, I want to say like pastel colours, or maybe not even pastel colours, but just like non-sharp colours. So maybe like earthy colours, natural colours. You know what I mean? Like basically not bright.
Is that what I'm wearing now? Like my shirt?
Yeah, like
green.
Jacko's got like a. Like, I don't want to say dull because that sounds like not exciting. But
I'd call this colour navy green.
Yeah, okay, like navy green. Yeah, that's a great example. And navy's a good example of what I'm talking about here. Like the colours are like a tiny bit on the dull side. You know what I mean? They're not bright.
Yep.
And so I think we've done that. Like that's been a fashion choice that we don't do things too bright.
Yeah.
And I think if everyone was wearing bright clothes, it might get too much like the 80s again. I think we've been... Is it 80s that do the bright stuff? I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
Like 60s, 80s, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's not necessarily going to be just back to all bright clothes, but... Second train of thought, going to link straight back into where I just left you hanging right there.
Okay.
When I was a kid, I used to love Lego.
Yeah.
Okay? And
same, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, like most kids do, surely.
Especially
Lachlan, did you have a favourite Lego piece?
Oh, I had a little
set.
Oh, right.
a race car set.
Oh yeah, race car.
So sick.
Yes.
Up pit lane and everything.
Yes, probably from the city edition.
We definitely had I definitely had like a less actual like box set kind of vibe. I just had like a crate of all random.
Yeah, bits and pieces. I mean,
so
that was the funnest bit.
I used to love making just like aeroplanes.
Yeah.
That's one of my faves.
Yeah.
And that's just I just want to say, anyone that grew up in like a disposable iPhone kind of world, Lego for sure was the fave.
Oh yeah, it was good.
Disposable iPhone.
Well, you know what I mean? Like kids just get thrown screen these days.
Yeah, that's
where
true.
we didn't have that.
We didn't have that.
How old are we right now?
Lego was amazing, is amazing, but I would say one of my favourite styles was Star Wars Lego, and it wasn't just of Star Wars Lego; it was actually of every Lego that I can remember specifically putting together what was an X-wing. It's like a spaceship, basically Luke Skywalker's X-wing. And like, there's always bits of Lego when you're constructing it together that you don't actually see because they're kind of like built in the middle. They're kind of like built, like obviously the whole structure's made, but there'll be a brick here and there that just fully gets covered so that's never seen really.
Yep. I always appreciated that about the ones that you build.
Yeah.
As you're building it, you're like, oh, I'm making like the kind of cockpit area.
Yeah.
Whereas when you build one yourself, often you kind of pass that and you just look into the outside.
Yeah. So hold that thought, because the thing I remember about the X-Wing is that I think it was like, must have been where near the engines were, and you couldn't actually see that Lego from the outside. Like you'd never see that. But it was always like a particular colour. Like a bright colour. Like the whole spaceship was like grey or whatever.
Yeah.
But then they might put just like a yellow brick in there or a red brick.
You're kidding.
No. and it's just like...
That seems strange.
That's right. And so I've always thought about this, like why do they do that, right? And I still don't really have a perfect answer for why they do that. But like... all Lego, I reckon most Lego things do that. Like if they're hidden bricks, they put funny colours in there.
Just the cheapies, like the ones that got excess.
Well, I was thinking that could be a possible thing. I was also thinking like potentially it could be like what you were saying before. Is like if you're putting together an engine, even though you don't see it, for some reason that part of the engine might be red. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I thought you were getting at.
Yeah.
Like there might be some grates. You know the little grate ones?
Yeah.
Might be some grates that are like hidden, and if you did pull it apart, it would look like an engine inside.
And possibly some bits do that, but I can specifically remember with the X-Wing, there's one brick, and actually I'm sorry this is so long-winded, but how the brick sits in is like there's a bit on top, a bit next to it, but like if you can imagine the diagonal corner, there's nothing there. So you can actually see like the thinnest line. The absolute thinnest
of colour.
line of colour, like very thin, because there's a bit on top, a bit on the side. You can see this thin line of colour. But I actually really liked it, right? I thought that was amazing. And it's just like this tiny, like contrasting colour. Everything else is grey. A bit of red sticks out. Bringing it back to my original thought, I think that's where the next fashion trend is going.
Belts.
Which is like still like dullish colour clothes, maybe your blacks, maybe your whites. But like fluoro socks.
Oh, socks, okay.
Or
yeah, that's cool.
Like hectic colour socks.
That's heaps better than belts, which is what I just like.
Belts boring.
Can I just interject?
But just like majorly colourful socks.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
sorry,
now,
sorry, you can.
throwing to Lachlan.
This is pulling from the archives of life. But Scott over here, I remember you called like the double pattern. Fashion.
Yeah,
it's not the most common thing. It's more like the designer things that you see them wearing or whatever.
Yes.
But you have like a pattern shirt like what he's got on now, but you'd have the matching shorts to it.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, gotcha.
I reckon it was about 4 years later that actually came in.
The same pattern on the shirts and the shorts.
We kind of saw it around. So...
So you might
kind
be
of paid off then. I'm hoping it kind of pays off now.
Place your bets.
But I will just say that I am predicting the trend as well as hoping to help kick it off because I like the idea of it.
Because there's definitely
I've requested some colourful socks for my birthday.
There's definitely novelty, like the novelty sock kind of thing is a thing at the moment.
Yeah, okay.
So like that, you might have like ducks or like lightning bolts or something on your socks.
Yes.
And that's a classic. That's the thing. Like the workplace is full of those at the moment.
Yeah.
But you're saying like it might be like a fluoro yellow or like a bright pink.
At least like it's got bright. Like I think of like the printed
Single
tones. Well, it could be like still patterned, but I just think they're going to be standout colours.
Okay.
Like
less subtle than they are. Even the what
if
you
it
call
has a fish on it, it'll be a bright fish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
If it has ducks on it, they'll probably be fluoro orange. Or just like bright green.
I like it.
How do you like that?
I like it.
Yeah, cool.
I reckon
We'll see.
I've got this idea that we'll do sometime in the future, and that's to record a time capsule podcast.
Yes.
And it's basically like just say how like it'll be so boring at the time because it'll be the most standard podcast. We're basically going to talk about where technology's at, what kind of firmware we're doing, what's like new.
I like it.
And then hopefully in a few years we look back and we can kind of reference how things were.
I reckon that'll be a good podcast. Like we'll talk about like just standout things of our life right now, like of our time.
Yeah, and we'll be able to look back. So it's a time capsule, but it's an audio time capsule.
I like it.
Not today, but I like it. But yeah, that'd be cool. And I appreciate as well that you have pulled out a prediction because the topic that I had for today also is a prediction that we made in the past.
Nice.
That has come about.
Really?
Yeah, because I was scanning through my phone today and we've talked about it a few times. We have like a notes section in our phone that has every idea we've had ever basically. This one in particular for me is probably like, I don't know, maybe 6 years old, maybe like 4 or 5 years old. So it's a long, long list, but I scrolled down a fair bit today just to see if there was anything in there.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long ago it was, but I can't even remember talking about it. I think it would have been in the driving podcast, which is at minimum 3 or 4 years ago.
Yes.
And what we spoke about was keys that they should have on the keyboards.
Oh, yeah.
So like a computer keyboard.
One of my favourite topics, actually.
Oh, well, that's good. Because it's come back.
Just about like that and letters and everything like that.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, so basically, we were saying like keyboards have been the same forever.
Yeah.
Here's some extra keys they should add into a standard keyboard.
Yeah.
Now the keyboard has gone basically unchanged.
Yeah.
You still got your QWERTY set out, numbers, your Fs, maybe a number pad on the side. It's basically what it is.
Yeah.
But in only the last maybe couple of years, Apple has brought in the touch bar.
Yeah.
That we both have on our laptops because we're lucky. Yeah. We've got the touch bar. Yeah. And I noticed that touch bar has a couple of the ones that we said that they should put in.
Oh.
So this is just a few that we suggested. And also there's a few that we suggested that haven't come in yet. So, and there's no reason why they can't.
No.
So basically these are the ones that they've done. I just suggested just the classic like bold and unbold button. So you just highlight your text, just press that. Yeah. If you're in a Word document, you've got a touch bar. Bang, it's right there.
Beautiful.
And then the font size up and down.
Beautiful.
Same thing. So instead of having to get your mouse, click up, click down the numbers.
Yeah.
Instant, the button's right there. So they've done it.
Tap. Yeah,
we called it. I wish that
yes.
Like I'm just using notes on my phone. It doesn't date like when you put things down.
Yeah.
But this is many years ago.
I know.
So
don't say that Apple doesn't listen to our podcasts because we know they've got intel.
Absolutely.
There's a bit of recon going on.
Yeah. And these are a couple that we said that they haven't got yet, which I'm still I back these 100%. And maybe we'll do a podcast in another year and they'll finally have them because we know you're listening Apple. And so this is what we had. We had like a when your computer's like loading or being slow, it's just a button that just brings up like Minesweeper or Pac-Man. Just to play a quick game.
Game button. Awesome.
Just while you're waiting. Yeah. Just be productive.
Game time.
The battery saver button, like a low power mode button.
Yeah.
Don't know why that doesn't exist. They've just actually so funny. We were just talking about that before we started.
Yeah.
They've brought it onto the phone.
Yeah, you can go into low power saver mode.
Basically with like a swipe and a press.
Yeah.
Whereas before you had to go into the settings.
Yeah. Well, I still have to because I haven't configured that.
Yeah,
but they've brought it in as an optional button.
Yeah, it's in the. What do you call that thing? What's that called, manager? Control panel? Something like that? Control center? Yeah, I think that's
Control center, yeah, nice.
Yeah, so there's that. I said...
and right there, you'd be referring that specifically for laptops.
Yeah,
the power setting.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so, you know, like, and there's pretty much no reason not to be in low power mode. If you're out and about, you're on a train, You don't need it to be doing the internet. You just cut off all that stuff, all the background stuff, cut it out. Don't need it.
Yeah.
Save the power.
Yeah.
Only the window that is open right now is the only one I care about being powered.
Yeah, definitely.
So that, the reads out like daily calendar, like just pop in the morning, press the calendar button. Especially like when
play with the news while I make my coffee.
With the just chuck your headphones in. Listen, today at 3:30 you've got a meeting with Jeff. Yeah. Make sure you tell him this. 5 o'clock podcast. Yeah. Whatever. It just reads out what you've got on that day. Yeah. Gets it in the brain. With the Touch ID that we've got now, that is you know more about programming than me, but that's an easy addition. Why is that? You don't know much about programming.
No, continue.
No, you do. You're pretty much an app developer.
Yeah, I mean, it is an easy addition, especially with the touch bar.
It's a virtual button.
I actually think you can, Apple's given you some ability to put in custom buttons. Yeah. I haven't looked down that pathway yet. I wonder if these are some of the custom buttons that we haven't even...
Well, I've looked.
Maybe they've hidden them in the custom. Yeah, because they didn't want to give us full credit.
I haven't. That's that. So, if that's what it is, that's exactly what it is.
They've had to hide a few in the custom button option.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a pretty I guess that probably sounds less impressive now.
It's impressive
because everyone knows that those are buttons. But honestly, when we were talking about that, it wasn't a thing. The touch bar was unheard of. So
it's not the first thing we've predicted.
No, absolutely not. And so now, look out, just watch your socks. That's all I'll say.
Watch your socks.
Watch your socks.
Yeah.
So that was obviously a kind of just a little throwback. And I won't go into any major topics today, but I also just wanted to say we spoke about way back the medium moments. Yeah. You brought that up. What was those? What were they, Hughes?
So the medium moments is kind of it's not a moment that is worth Instagramming or crazy celebrations. But it's also not just a run-of-the-mill, nothing happened moment either. I use the example where there was... actually, Lachlan had the best example where he basically had a colour transition of the same car in a row. So it was Lockie drives a silver Subaru Liberty. Yeah. And it was it went from white to silver, I think to gunmetal grey, and then to black. Yeah. A 4-car in a row option. Maybe... hard to Instagram or not 100% Instagram worthy, although that's pretty cool.
Illegal
as well.
While driving.
True.
But we called that a medium moment because it was just a cool thing that happened in life that was you could tell your mum about that next time you saw her if you wanted to.
Yeah. And so I think the point is that you always preface, this is a medium moment.
Yeah.
So don't, stay seated.
Yeah.
Don't expect to just change your world, but you might find this intriguing.
Handle this medium moment.
Yeah, so I've got one.
Yeah, cool.
So do you know TK Maxx?
Yeah.
It's basically I don't know, it's basically a shop where they buy excess stock and they sell cheap shirts and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. I think that's how it works.
It's a clothes shop. When you go to the register...
It's got many things, really. But anyway.
That's true. It's got electronics and stuff.
Electronics, clothes,
I love it, especially for gifts.
Yeah.
Quick tip, if you're looking for a gift for someone... they're onto it. TK Maxx is Father's Day's coming up.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's heaps of tyres. Here's heaps of phone chargers. Just all the things you want.
Nice.
So anyway, that's good. But when you buy something from TK Maxx, they always ask you, "What's your postcode?" And I assume that that just feeds back into the system, and they're just doing a bit of a plot map on who's going to actually buy stuff.
Yeah,
so
just a bit of research, a bit of data.
Yeah, that's just a little side point. But basically, I was in the lineup waiting. And they asked this person, what's your postcode, just before she made the purchase.
Yep.
And I wrote it down straight away. The postcode was 2316.
Nice.
And then the lady's like, no worries. That'll be $231.60.
Oh, wow. 2316.
Yeah.
$231.60.
It was, I promise you, it was exactly the same.
That's on the high scale of medium moments for sure, but I like it.
I was just mind blown.
That is good. That is a medium moment through and through.
I wonder what that actually, I'm not going to look it up just in case I
should have
somehow
Instagrammed it.
Wrote down the wrong thing.
Somehow.
I don't know. That's the thing is I missed, I didn't capture the moment, but I wrote it down because I was that's a medium moment for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely, I love that. That's great. Great use of the medium moment. You of our friends out there,
so
if we have any.
Yeah. So
Where was that going?
No, I was just going to say, if you've got a medium moment, send it through to the Instagram, Instagram text line.
We had a little silent conversation on the side though. Yeah. So send it through on Instagram.
Yeah.
Jack and Scott.
Jack and Scott. At Jack and Scott.
Anything else? We need to put it in the episode.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Of course.
We need to
Okay.
do
Sorry. Yeah. Of course. All right. Cool. So, Lachlan, this might be news to you as well, my friend. But I'll try and do a quick recap because I realise time's pushing on. But last week in our B-Sides episode, we discussed the idea that we should invest a bit of time in some of the things that we do every single day to either do it better or learn how to do it proper. Some of the examples that we used were things like brushing your teeth.
That's the only one I can remember.
Yeah, that was probably a main one. I forgot to mention, though, another good one that I thought of before bringing that topic to my mates was posture. Like, it could be worthwhile to actually chuck a YouTube video search about your posture. Like
just like how to reset, or just like how to
reset,
correctly sit.
how to correctly sit, how to correctly walk, maybe the best sleeping position, like on your back or on your side, I don't know. But... Yeah, just posture. I feel like that's something that's important and can contribute to the rest of your life.
Because I kind of know, like, bring your shoulders back, but not exactly where you really should be.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
And maybe that on the YouTube episode, it might say, think about putting your shoulders back for like 4 weeks in a row, and then for the rest of your life, you'll walk like that. Might just give a little tip like that.
That's pretty much the crux of it all.
Yeah. So, but then Jacko, what we looked at is Jacko said that he remembered seeing this video about tying your shoelaces in a very quick amount of time.
The Ian knot.
Ian knot, it's called.
We encourage listeners to look it up.
Go and have a look, yeah. And we'll encourage you guys to do the same if you did miss that episode, to look up the Ian knot, like IAN, on YouTube. And it's a really fast way to tie your shoelace, basically. And we set the challenge for Jack to learn how to do the Ian knot by this week.
That's right.
And what I've got in front of me right now is one man standing there with one shoe on the table.
I took it off because I didn't know how else to kind of show you.
Looking like
and
he's
I figured
about to do.
Manager can see it as well.
An Ian knot.
And I did tell you, I think I saw you like maybe on Wednesday or Thursday last week. Yeah. And I said, Scott, this has changed my life.
This has changed his life.
And we joked about it on the podcast because we did say, like, tying shoes, not a strength of mine.
No.
Nor yours, you said.
No, I did old school, like two double looper.
Yeah,
slow tie.
You do the regular knot, and it does start the same.
Yeah.
You just do the regular knot.
Yeah.
But
single tie.
yeah, that's cool.
Beautiful.
I don't know how to do it without my shoes on, but basically, maybe Lachlan, can you just film this or something so it's worth doing?
Maybe we'll film it and we'll chuck it on the Insta.
All right.
On the Jack and Scott Insta.
All right, this is pretty much it. So I made sure I wore tied shoes every day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Just grab it like this.
In the cons.
Round and through.
Wow.
Done.
Close up of that one.
Wow. Right.
I'll do it again for you.
Wow. So we've got like the traditional like single tie to get your base knot, I think you might call it, or something like that.
Yeah, so you got that single kind of knot there.
Yeah.
And I'll just show you the old way I would have used to do it. And so this, if ever you need an excuse to go on Jack and Scott on Instagram, this is it.
This is it.
This is the old way. So I'd go like a knot like that.
Yeah.
Another bunny ear.
Exactly how I do
the knot.
Yeah.
Now I'll just say a couple of things about that.
Yeah.
It's not fast. It's not like heaps consistent. It takes time. And also like you get the kind of like double lace.
Yeah.
See that? It's on the same side.
Yeah. Completely inconsistent.
Not ideal.
Yeah.
The old Ian knot. Do the old regular. And then you just grab it and pull it through.
Wow.
And you got the bits, the laces are on either side.
Do it again, but as quick as you can.
I don't know, like, it's weird not on my foot, but anyway, round and through. It's basically like a single motion. It's a single motion.
It is sharp.
One through, bang.
Oh, wow. You'll definitely have to have a gander on the Instagram.
Yeah.
This is exceptional.
So that's it. That's all. Oh, I messed it up, but yeah.
Ian, if you're listening,
thank you.
Thank you.
And I just want to encourage the listeners that I did do it a lot this week. Like I probably did my shoes up And I just basically, like, if I was watching TV, I'd do it like maybe 20 times.
Yeah, okay.
When I was on the toilet, just do it a few
Nice, good
times.
practice session.
Anytime I was kind of sitting down with not heaps to do,
Yeah.
I just do my shoelaces. So I probably did a few hundred of them.
Yeah.
But really, it's only a single move,
Yeah.
which means you only have to learn one move to be able to do it. So it's weird to start, but it's not like you're learning complex, like one after the other, and do this, and do this, and do this.
Yeah.
You just do it and you just get faster at it,
Progressive
kind of
steps.
thing.
Yeah.
So
And
anyone
can
that's
I
out there,
can I ask the question? You can
Yeah.
answer this honestly. Like if you think not, that's fine to say.
Mm.
But with this particular example, do you think you'll ever tie your shoes a different way from now on?
Oh, no way at
So
all.
you're basically committed to the and not for life.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
a few times this week
That's
I've chucked on the shoes, and my like 25 years of doing it one way
Yeah.
has like caught up with me, and I'll start to do the first loop.
Oh yeah.
So that's happened maybe like
Yeah,
twice this
okay,
week,
yeah,
and I just like go, whoop, stop that,
yeah.
and not bang. And I
not.
probably still save
Yeah,
time.
Okay.
And I'll teach my kids this way, and
Yeah.
I'll teach anyone that wants to know how to do it this way, because it's so good.
Oh,
And I actually can't believe that there's other ways that they teach,
yeah.
because of how like simple it is. Like it's
Yeah,
honestly
okay.
not.
Like
I haven't
in
done anything
schools, they
crazy.
should put this in the curriculum.
Well, maybe because I haven't done anything crazy to learn how to do it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's a
okay.
little bit of practice.
Yeah, I like it.
So check out the Instagram. We just filmed it.
And if you haven't heard that podcast, listen to it from last week. I'm
Yeah.
kind of excited now just to think about what other things we can do better.
Definitely.
Hmm.
Invest a bit of time, guys.
Well, very cool. Thanks for showing us that, JB.
No worries. I was
And,
pretty excited too. I'm not gonna lie.
No, and rightfully so. Impressive to watch. Check out the Instagram. I think we're going to post it up on that.
Post it as a video. We've got one post up at the moment, so this is just going to double. This is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Put another post up.
If you want to send Jack some words of encouragement, do so. But
Yeah,
I think for
appreciate it,
now,
guys.
we're going to wrap this up, tie it off, Ian knot it off. And we'll see you later.
See you in the next one.
You
Bye-bye,
are your
great.
mates. We have been great.